Hi guys, it's Michael here. Today, welcome to the Great Solder Race, where I figure out which is the best item for soldering wires. With my trusty brand new soldering iron, built-in LEDs. Let me turn off that light so you can see. Yep. And let's begin. First, with the Solder It paste. Solder It solder paste, silver bearing. Okay, this is going to be running up against electrical, silver bearing Rosencore solder, lead free. Okay, so attempt 1 with the solder paste. I'm trying to apply it. There it is. Put it on. Now close in the tube. There it is on. Okay, now attempting to solder it. Yep, the iron's hot enough. Here we go. It's not working half bad. Well, that is working pretty good. Oh, it didn't go all the way through, so that's 1 point down against it. Let me clean my iron. Now time for the next one. Where did I place that wire? Oh wait, right here. It's right in front of my face. I'm blind. Okay, so now I'm going to be testing out the silver bearing solder against this. Okay, the iron is hot enough again. Okay, got the solder. And the wire right here. You know what, I'm going to prop up the wire. Here we go. Ooh. It's pretty good. I'm gonna add a bit more solder to the bottom. There it is. There's that solder joint. It looks pretty good. So I think we have a clear winner. Let me clean off the solder. That's pretty well cleaned off. There's the iron, it's pretty much cleaned. Now time to look at that joint. The joint turned out pretty well. You can see that. Just a bit of crud left on it, so I think the silver bearing electrical solder is the one to go for this round. Well, see ya. Next item. Oh, shouldn't put that on the carpet, it's a bit hot still. Generic, unleaded solder versus this pocket pen of 60/40 solder. Now let's see which one will win. Okay, here we go. Starting off with the generic unleaded one. Actually, I might pick this back up to use as a support. Oh, it doesn't flow well. But it does work for soldering, I guess, light things. Let's see. I'm going to heat up the wire to give it a second chance of letting it flow into the wire, or try spreading it a bit. Oh, it didn't flow well. Well, that's a sad disappointment. Let me clean off this. Okay, so that joint came out like this. So not the best, but not the worst. Okay, time to test the other end. This goes right here. Unhook this. This is my favorite portable solder tube to bring around and use. Okay, let's dive in. Let me wet the iron. There. Ooh, that flows nicely. Oh, melted the plastic a bit. There we go. I'm going to smooth it out, give it the same advantage. I'll clean the iron. So, let's see who the winner is. I think it's a clear winner. Well, nope, not too clear of a winner. So, this is the unleaded solder, right here. And that's the leaded one. The leaded one, it looks like it made a better connection and flowed way better into the wire. So, I'd say we have the winner. The winner is the leaded solder. So, bye-bye. Actually, I might use that as a support now. That's in the running for now for seeing who's the champion. Next solder I'm going to try is the generic solder that came with the iron, which I'm assuming is unleaded, and this very nice Rosencore leaded solder. It smells like metal. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, propping this up again. First one I'm going to be using is the unleaded solder. Well, assuming unleaded, the mystery solder. Gonna heat the wire up. Flow the solder onto it. This is flowing pretty well, actually. So, that's how that turned out. Gonna wipe off the iron. Tap the iron to get some of the solder off. Wipe it to get the crust off. Now it's clean. Now time to look at the joint. That joint, it turned out pretty well. It flowed pretty much all the way through, I think. So, now let's test the leaded solder. Or the other solder, I mean. Okay, propped it up. Let me switch hands because that's just uncomfortable for me. Okay, heating up the wire. Let me move that out of the way. Why do the fumes always go towards you? Oh, that might be my next video idea if someone didn't make one already. Ooh, hot solder splash. Still, that's going pretty well. Oh, solder landed on the table. I'd say that's enough solder. Is that dry? Nope, that's still wet. Gonna tap the soldering iron off. This solder flows really well. So, I think that might be the winner if that looks well. That is the winner for this round. Putting this aside. Oh yeah. Is that soft still or? Oh, I messed up the paint a bit. But this table is already messed up. I'm gonna have to repaint it. So, saying bye to this roll of generic solder. And hello to the other roll of generic solder, because that's the next winner. I'm going to be trying my good old faithful Radio Shack. Oh, yeah, that's right side up. Radio Shack 4060 clear flux solder versus Flux lead-free flux solder. Well, lead-free solder with flux. This flux actually works pretty well, and it's not too expensive actually. The bead's cooled now. Hey, maybe I'll send this to one of my fans. Okay, so let's try this. Gonna first use the Clear Flux Radio Shack solder. Propping this up now. Let me adjust that so it won't drip on there. Now the iron's hot again. It's a 60-watt iron I'm using. Heating up the wire, flowing the solder. It's flowing real nice. There we go. Bit of an excess of solder, but still, all's good. Cleaning off the iron again. This is going pretty well. Oh. Well, time to see how that turned out. Quite nicely, if I might say myself. just didn't go all the way through. So I rate that 9 out of 10. When am I giving ratings? Okay, time to test the one with flux. Let me stick that to the side. Gonna put a small dab of flux, then spread it out with a brush. That's enough. Okay, brushing it on. The flux is pretty much applied. So that's good. And time to solder. Let's see how this solder performs. That's a good length of solder. Oh, my bad. The flux really helps the solder flow, but that's not too much of a surprise. Oh. That joint looks pretty good. Oh, melted the plastic of my other solder pretty well. Let me hit the back with a bit of solder. This is going to be the first time and the only time I'm going to be hitting the back for this video. But it flowed pretty well to the back actually. There it is. Let me clean off the iron. There, the iron's cleaned. Now let's have a look-see. The one with flux flowed extremely well. Now this wire is almost too hot to touch right now, but still, I have a decent pain tolerance, so there. I think we have a winner. This solder and flux. So that's the winner of this episode. Tune back. Nope, that's the winner of this episode. Tune back next episode to see who's going to be competing against who and who is going to be the actual winner. See you next time. Bye guys.